What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to my top 10 moves of all time in Powerline IO and giving my thoughts and opinions. Let's go.
She had my mind twisted, head spinning. I'm over my limit, watching the clock spinning. I lost all feeling, I'm finna wild.
Alright, so starting off here with my 10th best move, or what I believe to be my 10th best move of all time, is this move on who is Mart Eisen. It's not his name right now, but this is him. This was during an EU invasion event. So I go in and I go up there in a tight gap, no space, and then I kill him right there. And yeah, it's always nice to he's looping right now. It's always nice to surprise a looper in with a really tight turn like this and kill him. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And all right, moving on to number 9, and this is when I first started getting recognition for my moves being good, and this is a move I did on, I don't even know who this is. This is a fake Alex V that's looping in this tight loop. So I go in here, I do a couple really tight turns, and I turn to the right quickly, and I kill him right there. And this is like a super lucky move, actually, because like I get like randomly really close to the outside of the lines, like right there. Like this is like almost a pixel perfect turn right now. And yeah, this is when I first started getting recognition for my moves actually being good. So this is kind of a bit of a turning point for me. All right, moving on to number 7. Here we have, this is a move on the real Alex V. This is from my July moves, one of my July moves videos. So we go in here and we have this one tight turn, 2 tight turns, and there's a 3rd tight turn right there at the top. And I can go close to his line right over here to trap him, and he's kind of stuck in there. And then I go in just to provide a little bit more pressure, and then I quickly turn out. I think this is like actually a really hard thing to do right here at the end, where you just turn quickly, and it's kind of a random chance if you get through there, but he gets hit by my tail and dies. Pretty cool. All right, moving on to number 6. This is July moves part 2, I think, and this is on easy. So we go in and we have this really tight, and I'm really close to dying, obviously. I mean, it's a tight turn. And then this small gap right here, and I think the timings on this move are not as tight as the previous one on Alex V, but this is a much longer move. I'm doing tighter turns for a longer amount of time, so it requires much higher composure to get through that. And I U-turned after this. I didn't get to kill him, unfortunately, but yeah. Moving on to number 6. It's from moves part 2, and I just have no idea who this is. Pretty skilled player. No one's come forward to claim this as being them. So right now, if you look right here, I'm going straight across, and I am not going to make it through here as it is. So I do this quick little turn up and turn back down to make myself farther into this line in order to make this timing. So I go through there, and then I hit a really tight gap going straight up, and I go down, and unfortunately I do get killed, but this is a little bit of a controversial kill right here, in my opinion, because so I'm going down, and I mean, that seems like a little bit of a newt there. I don't know. It does not look like he's ahead of me at all. But then I get like teleported back. Kind of a weird situation, but it's all good. Moving on, this is the last move in my moves part 2 video, so this is a pretty cool one. So I'm going across here, and I this is just, I think this is actually my 2nd attempt doing this. I in this same game I tried to go and do this, but this is my 2nd time, and so it's kind of random just going through here, because there's not really too much here to tell you where you need to go in. And so I go in, and then I hit a tight no space upwards, and then I've pretty much, there's no space in here. I pretty much have no time to think, which makes this a much better move. And so I go up, and I happen to turn to not die here, and I happen to turn perfectly the first time to go through this top gap, and then I go down, and I think it cut out, but I end up just dying right here because I just wasn't gonna go through there. But I did make it through this first little gap, but I wouldn't have made it through this at that speed. But it's still really cool move to get, and I was pretty surprised when I got it as well. All right, so moving on, I'm not sure what number this is, but I'll put it on the screen. This is one of the tightest moves I've ever done. This is for moves part 3, and so we go up. This is a normal gap, but this tiny gap, I'm pretty sure this is pixel perfect. It might not be pixel perfect on this yellow line, but but I think it's definitely pixel perfect on this blue line. I wish the lines were a slightly different color so you could see a little better, but I'm pretty sure it's pixel perfect. And I get it's lucky that I'm lined up so I can go down through that line. And this might even be, I don't even know. But then I ends up killing this guy. And that's for moves part 3. And yeah, this is such a funny move. This is my this is in my weirdest clips in video. And so like I'm going down here, and then I don't even know what I was thinking, but I decided to turn right back up and go through here. And then I do it again. And then I do it again. And I don't know, it's just kind of like a weird skill, but it also showcases how tight you can go in this line, because I believe I could have continued going back and forth through that forever. Like, it's possible, it's just really difficult. And that was cool that I was able to show that off. And yeah, super cool. All right, this is a move on Patrick Z here, and it's just a bunch of really tight timings in a row, so that's pretty normal. But then that's tight, and it's just like, any of these timings by themselves would not be anything that impressive, but that I was going through this full, almost completely invisible gaps. Like, they're all no spaces, which means you can't really see the space between the lines. You can only see the one on that turn. But the fact that I did 4 of these back to back is pretty impressive. And this was included in moves part 3, but it was also included in Powerline IO moves, but I die at the end on my second channel. So if you haven't seen my second channel, there's a bunch of cool videos. There's 2 moves videos on there, actually, and a bunch of other videos. So go check out my second channel if you haven't already. And moving on, these are the top 2 moves that I've ever done. And I think they're tied for number 1, because I can't really decide which one's better. So tell me in the comments which one is better. But this one is on not on anyone, but it's Ultima's over here, and he's making this tight gap between this other unnamed guy. And this is pretty normal to start off with, just going through two relatively easy timings. And this one's also pretty easy. You can still like see the lines, but then I make this really tight turn to the right, and there's 2 more turns that I have to hit to go through this. And I do it, and this is such a tight gap right here, especially to do all of these 4 turns in a row is really impressive. And I didn't choke at the end, thankfully. And then Ultima tried to do it, but made that first tight timing, but failed, unfortunately, at the end. But I'm really glad I got this move, and yeah, just another of a few tight turns in a row that I'm really proud of. And this one is Jetson made. This is Alex V. And I think this might be my best move of all time. And I think this move is really underrated, and I'll show you why in a second. So Alex V's trapping me. I could have played this so much better. Like, if I didn't go back into my own line here, I should have just gone back down here. But yeah, I go down here, and then this first part's hard. I did this little like whip turn is what I call it, into going down right here. And that's not the hardest part, but the hardest part is when I do that. And that is a super tight turn, but I don't think many people that watched the move actually noticed how tight that was. But basically, I went through this gap right here. Like, look how tight that is. This line is almost completely over this one, and the lines are so small that it's like such a tight gap. Like, if 2 large lines were next to each other, the gap would not be this tight, but this is a super tight gap, and that might even be the tiniest timing I've gone through. Like, look how close that is right there. Super close. And yeah, I'm really proud of that move. And so, yeah, I think, which one of you guys, this one or this one, for my best move of all time, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, overall, I think there are definitely better moves than this. I think that there are definitely better moves than this. I think I have some really great moves, but I think others have really great moves too. But I want my legacy to be someone that could do a lot of moves, just be really consistent and be really well composed when doing moves. And I think I've achieved my legacy, and I'm really proud of the moves that I've done. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. There'll be a couple more videos left on this channel before I'm done, but yeah, see you guys in the next one.